Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Fallout 4 and our deep dive series. Today, we're going to be spending some time diving into the history of Fallout 4's power armor, and we're going to even spend some time looking at some of the different variations or models from other games. Now, while I have not played Fallout 1 or Fallout 2, I'm not going to spend a lot of time referencing those. I might just kind of touch base and say what armor pieces are in those games, but we're mostly focused on Fallout 4 today. And as we branch out into Fallout 3 and New Vegas and those other Fallout 1 and 2 games in the future, we'll branch more into the history of them there if this is a series that you guys are interested in. Now, before we get into the video, I just want to say if you're a returning viewer and you've been patiently waiting, thank you so much for your continued support. I see you guys watching my videos. I see you guys coming by our live streams. And I want to just say up front, I'm so sorry it's been such a huge delay. I just haven't really been in the right headspace for writing and being creative. And we're back at it. 2025 is a new year. I'm stoked to get back into it. And with that said, if you're new here and you're coming in fresh and you've not subscribed yet, if you like this video, please consider it. We have a whole deep dive series going into many different things within Fallout 4. And we're going to be spending some time branching into Fallout 3 as we've already started with Vault 101's history and other things like that. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Now, without further delay, grab your Nuka-Cola and a box of cram and let's get into some Fallout 4.
City's built on code and light. Every quest lights up the fire. Tamriel to Capital Wasteland.
I know with the success of the Fallout TV show that we seen last year that people are now getting into the Fallout game series, and with that means new players. Those people may not know the history behind Bethesda's variations of power armor. So today I figured I'd spend some more time diving into the history and the purpose behind power armor and the impact that it had on America leading up to the events of the Great War. I mentioned this in our opener, but I personally have not ever played Fallout 1 or 2, so while I refer to elements from those games, since I've not played them, I'll only be focusing on the Bethesda and Obsidian variants of power armor. I do promise, however, in the future when we touch base on Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, I'm going to be spending more time on power armor from those games. Power armor, as many of you guys know already, has been a large part of the entire Fallout franchise and has been referred to as powered armor or powered combat infantry armor and even powered infantry armor throughout the series. Power armor is a type of personal infantry suit that's best described as a suit which turns the wearer into a walking tank. Of course, the intent of the suits are to be more for combat or heavy labored roles. The suits are powered by fusion cores, providing large levels of energy, strength, speed, and protection from both a ballistic and radiation standpoint alike. Development began before the Great War in the year of 2065 by the U.S. defense contractors, which includes West Tech. Renditions would be created later by the Garahan Mining Company, which we can learn of in Fallout 76 and the Enclave following the Great War. And now, if you've ever played any game in the series, then you'll know already that power armor represents the absolute peak of personal defense technology. It is considered to be an item of value and a rare commodity, as the games were designed in a way that limited the number of suits that would actively spawn during a playthrough, and this can be seen easily during our time playing Fallout 4. There are several factions in post-war America that utilize power armor, and when playing any of the games, the power armor can be encountered when interacting with groups such as the Raiders, the Enclave, or the Gunners, even the NCR, and most recognizably, the Brotherhood of Steel. Now, I mentioned it in the introduction, but production began in the pre-Great War era in August of 2065. But why? Simply put, traditional methods of combat were not cutting it anymore, and due to the resources being limited leading up to the development of power armor, the US was severely limited in their ability to deploy traditional combat vehicles, so like tanks and trucks and things like that. Now, while the beginning stages of development proved to be challenging, the potential was there, and the US military, alongside defense contractors, got to work and began developing the self-powered suits. Now, what I will say is it's important to note early development proved majorly unsuccessful with all designs. But in 2066, an early concept of fusion cells came along. During the winter of 2066, the Chinese began their invasion of Alaska in an attempt to take control of the United States' share of crude oil reserves. And because of this, the research and development became a priority, so soldiers utilizing the new T-45 power armor produced by Westech could be rushed to the front lines. Now, T-45 development was completed in 2067, and it's important to note that this is the first design that was successfully utilized in combat, greatly shaping the nature of warfare. This model lacked in mobility, but allowed soldiers to now utilize heavy weapons in combat and becoming the key to pushing back the Chinese infantry as well as their tanks. If we look further down the timeline at the year of 2074, the T-45 was officially becoming obsolete in the war against China as new weapons such as Gauss rifle was seeing service. Newer models such as the T-51 and T-51B were being developed and were officially outperforming the T-45D series in all rankings. Not that it's relevant to this video, but I do want to note that the T-51 model is my favorite design in Fallout 4. It has a unique look, not only the body plates, but the helmet has a sleek feel to it. So just a little insight there of my preferred favorite. But the T-51 now provided the United States with the backbone that it needed to overcome Chinese resistance on all fronts. Thanks to the T-51, the United States was now able to push back the People's Liberation Army. This group consisted of both the Chinese Army and the Chinese Navy. And in January of 2077, General Constantine Chase, whom you'll know from Operation Anchorage expansion of Fallout 3, was able to successfully complete the Anchorage reclamation using the iconic winterized series of the T-51B power armor, which the player can actually be rewarded with by completing the DLC Operation Anchorage, the main quest line from that expansion of Fallout 3. It was during this time the development of the new and improved T-45 series was completed, and this will be known to the player as T-60 power armor. This is the iconic Brotherhood of Steel armor set from Fallout 4. Historically, there are other experimental sets that have been developed leading up to the Great War. Once the bombs fell and America was left in nuclear ruins, though, the T-51 and T-60 power armor designs remained the most advanced sets ever to see mass production. Now we're going to spend a little bit of time looking at each specific base model of the known sets of power armor within the universe, starting with the T-45 power armor. The T-45 power armor is available to use in Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 76, as well as Fallout 4. It is the earliest designs that was pressed into service during the Sino-American War and was created in January of 2067 by Westech. This power armor was developed in less than 2 years after the development and research began on power armor. T-51. T-51 power armor is found in Fallout, Fallout 2, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 76, and Fallout 4. T-51 is made of a polylaminate composite shielding the user from radiation and damage while providing increased strength. It represented the pinnacle of mechanized protection before the Great War. T-60. T-60 power armor can be found in Fallout Shelter, Fallout 76, and Fallout 4. And while T-51 is considered to be the pinnacle of mechanized protection, the T-60 series is far superior in design. It is evolved from the T-45 and this model entered service following the conclusion of the Battle of Anchorage, mere months before the nuclear apocalypse, leaving it with a lack of representation in the field. While it did not see much field time, it was rapidly deployed throughout all fields of theater. By the time the Great War occurred, the T-60 series was considered to be the most advanced model of power armor to see extensive use that was in mass production. XO1 Power Armor. XO1 Power Armor is likely considered to be the most sought-after set whenever playing Fallout 4 or Fallout 76, and this model was commissioned by the Joint Chief of Staff, and development began very shortly before the Great War. The design was considered to be a radically new approach to designing power armor, and the intent was to supersede any previous power armor set before. One set was issued to the Nuka-Cola Corporation as part of the Project Cobalt. This set can be unlocked when playing the Nuka World expansion and is considered one of the best armor sets in Fallout 4. In 2198, the Enclave began a full production and further development of the XO1 series, and research and development progressed well into 2200, and despite lacking any prototype schematics, the Institute was able to further delve into improving the design by 2287. Advanced Power Armor Mark I. The Advanced Power Armor Mark I model can be found in Fallout 2 and Fallout New Vegas, and this set was developed by post-war Enclave scientists aboard the oil rig and was standard issue to the Enclave soldiers. This set is composed of lightweight metal alloys reinforced with ceramic castings at key points, with the item description noting it to also having high-quality motion assist servo motors. The armor is also capable of recycling human urine, allowing the user to remain within the armor for longer periods of time. Advanced Power Armor Mark II. The Advanced Power Armor Mark II can be found within Fallout 2 and Fallout 3, and this design is also known as the Enclave Armor, XO2, and Black Devil Power Armor. This set was designed as an upgrade to the Mark I suit. The Mark II is composed entirely of lightweight ceramic composites, providing protection superior to earlier models. The Enclave was able to mass-produce the power armor at Raven Rock following the events of Fallout 2. And this model can be modified with a Tesla device capable of dispensing a large percentage of damage done by direct energy attacks, also known as Tesla Armor, from Fallout 3. Hellfire Power Armor. Hellfire Power Armor can be found in Fallout Broken Steel, Fallout 76, and it was recently added to Fallout 4 with the Next Gen update. This armor was the result of a post-war research and development project undertaken by the Enclave. An early iteration was completed by October of 2080 and was shipped to Vault 51 at the behest of the Vault's Zax computer. While the final mass-produced version would see large-scale deployment in 2278, initially the mass-produced armor was one of several concurrently active research projects taking place at the Adams Air Force Base, including one on iBots, initially the material called Duraframe, but ultimately came to be the most in-demand project fully completed. Other projects, to much of the researchers, such as Whitley, were canceled in favor of the new model of power armor by Colonel Autumn. EXC-17, aka Excavator Power Armor. And this power armor is exclusive to Fallout 76. The Excavator armor is developed by Garhan Mining Company, and its intent was to help human miners compete with the growing numbers of robotic replacements. The prototype armor never saw full production, despite having heavily advertisements in Appalachia as the future of mining. This was due to Garhan Mining losing a competition against Hornwright Industrial Mining Company, where miners wearing the EX-17 competed against Hornwright's mining robots, thanks to Hornwright cheating during the competition. Lastly, and certainly not least, though, is the Raider Power Armor. Raider Power Armor can be found and modified in Fallout 76 as well as Fallout 4. And this armor has been salvaged and restored to fighting shape by Raiders after the Great War. It seems to incorporate elements of both the T-45 and T-51 models, and because it's been rebuilt using a variety of scrap metals, it cannot protect as effectively against damage like other power armors. The most recognizable variant is the Overboss power armor set from the Nuka World DLC. All right, guys. Well, that just about does it for our Fallout 4 deep dive series on Power Armor. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really hope that you learned something new today. If you've made it this far into the video, of course, and you've not done so already, make sure you guys subscribe, like the video, and consider sharing it with a friend, as it really helps the channel out. And I know this is a video that many of you have been waiting a while for, and for that, I sincerely apologize. Moving into 2025, I plan to be a lot more consistent with our uploads and be a lot more communicative with you guys of what's going on in the community tab if anything changes or interferes with my upload schedule. So make sure you guys are subscribed, you've got notifications enabled, or consider joining our Discord. It's linked down in the description below. Now, a last little update / plug, whatever you want to call it. Since our last upload, we've unlocked channel memberships here. So if you would like to further support the channel, consider becoming a member. You can hit the join button, or you can go to our homepage, or check the link out down in the description below, or even become a Patreon member. Speaking of, I just want to take a moment and acknowledge the people that have maintained their membership. So first and foremost, thank you guys so much to those of you that are currently active members and that have maintained that for the last couple of months since we've unlocked that. And so huge shout out to Grunge Bob, Kayla, and Stephanie for being members. And of course, our lovely Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much. And that would be Bipolar Llama, Kayla, and Stephanie. So again, thank you guys so much. And we will see you all on the next episode of our Fallout 4 Deep Dive series.